Hey friends, I'm here with another update. First of all, I'm really thankful that I get to serve as, somewhat of a typical pastor. I'm a church planter, of course, and I get to see churches launched from scratch, and I love that. My family loves that, and something I fell in love with, like I said, about 10 years ago. And in that capacity, there are a lot of normal kind of pastoral duties, being part of a church and family and church life. And I love that. I love being a pastor. But I also love that as a church planting pastor, I get to be a missionary. And maybe the best way to talk about it is to say a missionary pastor. And what I mean by that is, I don't only get a chance to be a pastor or a spiritual, mentor to people in the church. I get to do that a lot in the community, with a lot of people asking questions about God, with a lot of people that won't come into a church, but they're very willing to talk about God or to get prayed for or to come to you with questions. So I love the fact, and maybe this should be every pastor, I guess, but I love the fact that I'm given permission to be a missionary as well as a pastor. And the people that at Shepherd, at Soul Thirst Church, at our church plant, they understand. I'm also going to serve a lot of times and a lot of energy as a missionary, kind of evangelist, kind of counselor to people who may never come to our church. And I just love that balance. And I thank you for your support of that. That yes, I'll continue to be a part of launching churches and training other guys to launch churches. But also, I really pray I can remain in this missionary evangelist capacity because I love it. Now this week, in that regard, it was actually a very tough week, and I'll tell you why. I had 4 circumstances, some people in the Soul Thirst Church plant, but actually most people outside of the plant. I had 4 circumstances where some tragedy occurred in somebody's life. 3 of these were deaths, where people had someone die that was very close to them, and almost every single one of them is what we would call untimely. Now with God, there's no such thing as untimely death. He knows the plan, He knows the days, but to us, it is untimely. One was a teenager. One person was a wife whose young husband had a heart attack out of nowhere and died. Another one was a person that was recovering from an illness and getting better, and things were looking great, and they took a turn for the worse, and they passed away. And doctors weren't expecting that, and certainly the family wasn't expecting that. Then another thing I dealt with wasn't a death, but it was a significant family situation. And I'll tell you what, that's hard stuff to be a part of. And I'm not complaining here, I'm just saying that's real life tough stuff that we all go through. There are no easy answers. Yes, there's a Savior in charge. Yes, Jesus will walk us through it, and He's got it, and He's going to be good and all that. He's going to buy it back. All those things are certainly true. But as you know, they're still emotional, and they're still tough, and they're still challenging. But I'll tell you what I do appreciate about Jesus in those times. I mean, there's a lot of stuff, but one in particular, I love the way that when we as humans are at our weakest, facing a death of someone you love or an untimely death of someone close to you, that's a weak point. Weak for the person who passed away, but weak for us who mourn and who are sad. When we're in those weak times, that's when you see Jesus show up the most. It reminds me of His ministry in the Bible where, He'd go to certain places where life wasn't what it should be. People caught in sin or conflicts going on. And when all that was so messy, He just was so profound. He could address it so well. And the same is true of the tragedies that strike us. Man, when we're weak, when that stuff is going down, that's when you see Jesus show up. So this past week and also this coming week, have a number of memorial services, a number of chances just to love people and be with them and have a ministry of presence. Man, all that stuff I know will be weak, but Jesus will show up so strong, and I'm honored to be a part of it. I hate that kind of darkness and pain has to happen to people, but I love the way that Jesus shows up. And He and His Spirit, they do things. And a lot of really big questions and a lot of breakthroughs happen in people's lives during those tough chapters. So please be praying about all those situations. Also, Soul Thirst Church today, we had 4 visiting families. That's very cool. We're looking to see what God's going to do next with our location and exactly how the ministry looks. And right now, we don't get traffic all the time like that. I mean, we get new people, but maybe 1 a week or sometimes 1 new family every other week. But today, 4 families. That's very cool. We're excited about that. Pray about the follow-up. Some things we try to do well. I try to do well. And also just pray that, hey, they don't have to be a part of our church. We just want them a part of Jesus and a part of His kingdom. And if they're not going to connect to Soul Thirst, pray that we can be some kind of catalyst or guide to help them connect to something that will grow them in their faith and nurture that faith and continue to take them on this journey that Jesus has planned for them. Thanks again for your support. Thanks for watching this video update. Please don't just hear these things. Pray. Send me insights, send me encouragements if the Spirit put those on your heart. I mean, feel free to respond to this email or give me a call. Love to correspond with you. And once again, thanks. This journey will continue. And having these 40 just zealous mission supporting partners, that means everything to me. Right now there are 23 of us. We started with none and now we have 23. I'm still have a goal to seek 40, but you 23, thanks a ton. Keep up the faithful work to the glory of our King of Kings, the Savior Jesus. Okay, take care. Talk to you soon. Bye.